Backing it up just for the recording. Shout out to Alex, new Emerald coach, and Dana, new Emerald coach. I wish you could hear all the nice things I just said about all of you. Amy, new Emerald coach, but I forgot to record. It's cool. Next time, be on our team call if you can. You guys, look at this freaking Success Club board. I blown freaking away. Literally blown away. We have not had a Success Club board like this in ever. I don't know if not ever, a really freaking long time. Freaking Ashley Miller with 34 Success Club points. The only reason she's not in front of me is because that's just how it was last time. It's not based on like in order. She is freaking leading this team with 34 Success Club points. Highest she's ever had. So proud of you. I'm pretty sure we've got a ton of people hitting their highest numbers this month. I know Holly's hit her highest number, and I think she's got more than that now. Tyler hit her highest number. Rachel's hit her highest number. Leah's hit her highest number. I'm pretty sure Morgan's hit her highest number. Like, you guys are seriously, seriously crushing this, and all of you with Success Club points on the board. I know some of you have your first Success Club points. Some of you are like minutes. Maybe you've already locked in Success Club throughout the day since I pulled this report. But we have over 280 points as a team. 280 points as a team equates to more than 140 lives changed. You guys, that's like 3 times my high school graduating class. 140 lives. Think about that. If we were in a room with 140 people and we just changed all their lives, like if you put that into perspective, what this team has done this month, it is insane. I am so incredibly proud of you guys. Team Cup. You should have promo codes still. If you need a promo code and you're out, I'm sure someone on the team would give you one if you need one. But we've got promo codes this month. So follow up with every single person who has said no to you in the past and be like, hey, we've got an amazing deal this month. I know you're busy, but I feel like you're going to love this. Follow up with every single person. Don't leave anything unturned. Make sure you follow up with everyone. We've got pumpkin spice. Someone gets a Shakeology challenge pack or a challenge pack that includes Shakeology, they get a free box of pumpkin spice this month until they're gone. I don't know. As of this morning, they were still available. So until they're gone, that's still there. And there's still the $20 off the bar challenge pack. Plus, you can add that promo code on. You guys are so much left to this month that you can still lock in your goals. If you still want to lock in Success Club and you're not working closely with your upline or your coaches, reach out to them, guys. That's what we're here for. We want to help you. We can only help you if you're coming to us and asking us for help. When we tell you guys that we're here, we can help you, we feel salesy. We feel like we are pushing you to something you don't want to do. But guess what, guys? If you're on this freaking call, we know you want to do it. That's why we reach out to you. If you don't want to do this, fine. If you do want to do this, reach out to your coach and say, I am gonna lock in Success Club, and we will help you get there. Coach Summit 2020. If you are going, make sure you get your spot in the house. We will fill this house, whether it's with our people or with our sister coaches. This house will be full. So there will be a point in time where we'll be like, sorry, there's no more room. You're going to have to find another house. I'm filling this to the brink with all the spaces that we have available in the house. So make sure you let us know ASAP if you want to join us. It's $250 for the whole weekend, the 15th to the 20th. And it's going to include a lot of food. It won't be every single meal, but it'll include most of your food while you're there. And it's going to be like a little mini retreat. You get to hang out with us. It gets to be fun. CoachSummit.com. Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining. All right. I am going to, Rachel, I'm so rude and didn't even get all your numbers. I don't even know where you're at right now. I'm going to turn it over to the top coach in my freaking organization, the top coach in my eyes, Rachel Baldridge, who is literally, she crushes it. She crushes it in all areas. She just bought a new house, which is adorable, by the way. Don't even get me started on her kitchen. She is a mom to 2 little boys. She has a very similar life to me with the mom life. And she crushes it, guys. Morning Meltdown 100 launched last year. I think she had like Success Club, like 120 or something?
250.
Shut up. 250. Success Club 250. That's what it was. Like it was 120 people.
Yeah.
250. And like killing it. You were a diamond. What were you, diamond at that point?
Yeah.
I think you were a diamond coach and made $11,000 during the Morning Meltdown launch in 1 month. $11,000 as a diamond coach. So let me tell you right now, let's put all of that aside for 1 second and say, it does not matter what your rank is in terms of your income. She made a shitload more money than me that month, and I was a 5-star. Okay. So you guys need to not associate rank with income, and you need to just hustle your ass off, because as a Emerald coach, if you had 250 Success Club points, you could have made 10 grand that month. It has nothing to do with rank. And it doesn't have anything to do with anything except for hustle and heart. Right, babe?
That's right. That's me.
I am passing it over to Rachel.
Good time is taken. Okay, awesome. I'm going to share my screen. I love presentations, and I've got a killer pep talk for you tonight. So I am so excited. Stephanie is one of my favorite people in the world, and every time I get asked to speak on her call, I'm like, I am not worthy. I see y'all Success Club. Y'all, holy freaking moly, your team is killing it. #goals. I am so excited for the future of this team. Like, that is inspiring as all get out. So I just want
hold on. Hold on 1 second. But our 250 points, you had yourself in July last year. So let's just start with that. Okay. Anyway.
And disclaimer, I don't have 250 points per month, because I would literally be in the grave drowning from anxiety. But that's besides the point. So my name is Rachel. If you guys don't, most of you probably don't know who I am. It's crazy that in this network you can be like pretty semi-successful and nobody has a clue who you are. That's totally okay. So a little bit about me, and I'm not going to spend much time on this because I don't really care about this. I want my goal for tonight. I want you to walk away with, I have 10 fears, okay? 10 of the most common fears that I see within my team. I got some of the fears that Stephanie said that her team struggles with, which are the exact same. And I put together a kind of, we're going to look at the underlying root of each of those fears, because I think that's important. And then we're going to give you an action step for each of those fears to overcome it. So I want you to leave tonight's call feeling extremely excited and fired up and empowered. But I'm a pastor's wife. I have 2 young boys. They are 2 and 5, full of all of the antics and insanity that boys bring. I have lost 145 pounds in my Beachbody journey between 2 different postpartum journeys. I've been a coach for 4 years, full-time for 3.5, left my previous job as insurance and billing administrator. I have no high school degree, or excuse me, no college degree. I graduated high school. I was homeschooled, so like all the odds, awkward city over here. But I was in the Morning Meltdown 100 palette test group last year, and it was incredible. But I do want to say that was 3.5 years of investing in my business to reap the reward of Success Club 250. And one of the things, if you guys don't know who Trent Shelton is, he's like one of my new favorite people, go to his YouTube and look at there's one, we're not going to watch that, but there's one from a video he did from like 6 months ago, and it talks about patience. I have been listening to that on repeat because I feel like that is probably the number one thing that coaches, they quit before they even have the opportunity to succeed. You may be on the brink of a breakthrough. And so for 3.5 years, I have hustled with my head down with determination, grit, discipline. And then at last year in 2019, I saw the payoff of all that. So we ended the year as a 4-star 2020 premier. I've been in Success Club for 49 months. That's doing my job. If you are a coach, you should be in Success Club no matter what. It's not an if, it's a when. And you do it now. All of you who had points on that board and all of you who didn't, you should be in Success Club by the end of this month. I have pulled it out of my butt on the last hour of the last day before. It can be done, so do not quit. And a little thing on Team Cup, if you're on a Team Cup team and you've already given up on your goals, you don't. Like, dive in. You've got how many days? 3 days, 2 days left of the month, in the month, knowing you've given it your all. So we're going to start by, I hope you guys brought your notes. I'd love to hear in the chat if you have questions. I'll look at all that at the end or else I'm going to get distracted. But so I'm going to go through each of these fears and we're going to break it down with what we are actually believing when we're stating that fear out loud. And then I'm going to give you an action plan to hopefully overcome that fear. So, and I'm sharing this from a place of, I've experienced all of these things. And all of these things still show their head in my business at some time or another. And one of you mentioned you got a hateful message earlier today. Girl, that happens like every dang day. I had somebody tell me that my makeup was ugly today on Instagram. I was like, block, bye, no time for your negative energy. You got to develop that shell of a rhino. So number one, fear of sharing your story and posting on social media. So I get this because I was not at my goal weight when I started as a coach. But what you're believing about yourself in this moment is that you're believing that your message doesn't matter, that you aren't special enough, that you're not interesting enough for your message to be important. That's what you believe about yourself when you're saying that sharing your story and posting on social media is scary. So I'm going to give you a way to overcome this. And we did this on an action hour with my team. It was so incredibly cool. So you probably can't see, but take a piece of paper. I want you to fold it in quarters. And then on each of those, then unfold it. You have 4 boxes. And you're going to title those boxes. And after we get off the call, I want you to do this. This is going to be a way for you to have a brain dump so that when you say, I don't know how to share my story, Rachel, Stephanie, whoever your leader is, and I don't know what to post on social media, you're going to refer. I keep this sheet of paper in my backpack with all my stuff. And when I have those feelings, I look at my paper and I go from there. So here's the 4 questions you're going to ask, the 4 different columns. Number 1, how did you feel before challenge groups, before your health and fitness journey? How did you feel? So I'll give you some examples. So mine were, I cried in dressing rooms. Food consumed my thoughts. I was a prisoner to my cravings. I was angry when I interacted with people. I didn't want to get out of bed. My marriage was struggling. I was ashamed and defeated. And it goes on, but I'll stop there. So that's what I put in my, how did you feel before challenge groups, okay? And then the second column is, how did you feel after? So how did you feel after you started 21 Day Fix or Morning Meltdown 100? What did you begin to feel and see in your life? So things that I put are emotionally in control. I was more self-aware. I had a humble confidence instead of a facade. More caring towards my husband, patient with my kids. I enjoyed going shopping again. I wasn't afraid to dream. So now notice, most of these have nothing to do with my physical body. There's so much more that we can talk about with our stories than just, yeah, I lost a pant size, which is awesome. We want to be posting about that. Yeah, we want to be posting about the 5 pounds that we lost. But y'all, that's just stats. When you connect with your story, and a lot of times as a new coach, it's like deer in headlights. You don't even know where to start. So this is going to give you a place to start. So that's column 1. Column 2. The third column is, how did you feel before you found your team, this team right here, and coaching? So I put things like, I felt guilty every time I went to purchase anything for myself because we had no money. I had a ton of anxiety. I had no real, true, deep friendships. I was afraid that we would lose our house. I was lacking purpose. I had no dreams or ambitions. So you're really like narrowing down, what was it before coaching that you felt? On the 4th column, in the very last one, you're going to put, how did you feel after coaching? And things like this would be, I could use our money without guilt. I felt like I wasn't going to continue the poor life course that I was on. I felt like I was contributing to the world and making an impact. I have a crew of best friends now. I'm showing my kid what it's like to have 2 parents that have jobs that fill them up and give them purpose. So if you've never done an activity like that, if you are afraid of sharing your story, I'm going to tell you guys, you cannot build a business without a storefront. This crutch is going to kill your business before it ever gets started. So make it your mission to get out of this mind block, because it truly is about turning your mess into your message. A lot of times I will look at old pictures and I will look at that picture and it'll take you right back to that initial feeling that you felt when you saw that picture for the first time. Use the feel, felt, found methods. So you can take all that brain dump that you just did and say, okay, I remember feeling, fill in the blank from your column 1. And then you continue on with your post and say, I felt blah, 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 blah. I have found this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to create your post off that. If you really struggle with the groove of posting, it does become more natural in time. One thing that I love for this fear for personal development is Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. So if this is something that you really struggle with, I highly encourage you to put that on your PD list. So that's fear number 1. Fear number 2 is fear of judgment if you're not at your fitness goals. And most of us probably when we start our coaching business have not reached our fitness goals yet. I feel like that's an ever evolving thing with me. Your underlying belief here is that you believe that you have to be perfect as a coach. So the way that you're going to overcome that is you are building credibility through your authenticity. The message is creating belief in your audience that if you can do it, if Brittany can do it, or Marcy can do it, or Stephanie can do it, then I can too. And that's what you're instilling in your audience when you overcome your fear of posting, and then you overcome your fear of what people are going to think, because you don't have to be perfect. But you're showing them that because you can, they can, and that's your mission. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Most of you probably know who Emily Favre is. Her story at 80 Day Obsession changed her business. She went from like 2-star diamond to 15-star diamond in like 3 months. It was the most maddening, insane thing. She did not wait until day 80 of her program. Every week, she shared her transformation picture. Day 1 to day 7, day 1 to day 14. And you know what that did? By the time 80 Day Obsession launched, she had 80 days of credibility with her audience, and it blew her business out of the water. So you have the opportunity to do that as well. So when that fear fills your head, remember that the girl on the other side of that screen is struggling, and they need you as their light. Okay, that's your job as coaches. Like we're here to build a business, and how incredible is it that we get to do that and make money by inspiring others? This is such a blessing. So you're going to take that fear of judgment, and you're going to view it as building credibility through your authenticity. So I can tell you, the more true to who I am, which was really scary at first, and this was an evolving process for me. The first 2 years of my business, I really was just kind of throwing crap at the wall, figuring out what would stick. But at some point, I really tapped into that authenticity and being vulnerable on your social media. So that's fear number 2. Hey guys, guess what? You're not always going to get it right. Hey, this is for me a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure that you don't want to post a picture of you with a Shakeology cup. So just know, please don't do this. This is not an example of what to do. This is an example of what not to do. But that you're going to make mistakes, and you're not always going to get it right. But the right people are not going to care. The right people that joined me in this season of my business, they didn't care. They were ready for a change, and I inspired them somehow. So look, I promise you, if I can post cheesy Shakeology selfies and still make something to my business a couple years ago, you can too. So fear number 3, fear of inviting. Okay, I can't see all of you because I have a small screen. How many of you have a fear of inviting? Be honest, it's okay. We have all felt that. I used to feel that too. When I was a new coach, it was really intimidating. I thought, okay, who on earth am I supposed to invite? What is this thing called inviting? But eventually I realized when I was afraid of doing that vital behavior, is my belief about myself was that I wasn't valuable enough as a coach, and what I was offering wasn't valuable enough to share. So when you're realizing that you believe that, deep down, do you truly believe that what you're offering as a coach is valuable to those around you? It shifts everything. It becomes from something that's scary to an obligation, something that you're excited about sharing with others because it's changed your life so incredibly much. So a way that I overcome this, if you've not read the book Eat Your Frog, it's a great one. Stephanie actually mentioned it on my team call on Monday. Eat Your Frog is a really good PD book, but the concept is essentially do the scary things first. I still, 4 years into my business, that is what I do first, because if I don't do my inviting at 5 a.m. in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to have every reason throughout the day not to do it. And you get home, those of you who work outside jobs and you're juggling coaching and full-time careers and mom life, if you don't prioritize that crucial behavior at the beginning of the day, it likely won't happen because you'll be too tired, or you don't feel good, or your kids stay up late, or whatever may happen. And your business only grows through this extremely important behavior. So I have learned that if I am sharing authentically, like we just talked about, and consistently, and Stephanie gave this analogy on my team call on Monday, and it was so good. And it was a light bulb for some of my coaches. So I'm going to regurgitate it and pretend like it didn't come from Stephanie. So you have a boulder, okay? You're trying to get this huge A boulder up the hill, right? And you're pushing and it's shoving and it's hard, and inviting feels like that. It feels like a boulder. Your journey feels like a boulder, and you're shoving it up the hill, and God, it's so hard. And then all of a sudden you stop and you look the other way, or you don't pay attention, or you take a break for a second. And instead of having that momentum of your business pushing you forward up the hill, you stop and the boulder comes crashing down and crushes you. And that's what happens when you stop on your social media. When you take a leave of absence on your social media, and my coaches just overthink what to post. You got to show up somehow, some way every single day, because people need to know that they can count on you. If they can't count on you to show up on social media every day, they're not going to count on you to be their coach. And so that is extremely important. So when I'm doing that every day and showing up authentically, and then I begin to eat my frog every day at the very beginning, 5 a.m., right after I wake up when my Energize is kicking in, that becomes the best strategy for me to overcome the fear of inviting. I would also challenge you, when you think of those negative people on the other side of your phone screen, think about how they're receiving that message. Are you doing a copy paste? Are you voice memoing? Have you created a connection with them? Think about how they're receiving it. But look, guys, if you're sharing authentically on your page and being true to yourself, you don't have anything to fear. And if someone takes it the wrong way, they're not your people. They're not the people that are meant to be in your life. They're not the people that are going to bring you joy if they sign up. So you propel forward no matter what they say anyways. So fear number 3, inviting. Now, fear, somebody's unmuted. You can make sure you're muted. Fear number 4, people judging you. So I still feel this at times. I think it's human nature to probably feel this because at the core of who we are, we want to make people happy. But when you're afraid of what people are thinking of you, you believe, your underlying belief is that you believe what you're doing is wrong. You guys, if we are not sharing what a beautiful opportunity it is, Michaela, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Thank you. If you believe that what you're doing is wrong, then we have a deeper issue here, okay? So you as a coach are offering a lifestyle change that could completely change their life. If you sat down and did that activity at the very beginning, what kind of opportunity are you giving people if they say yes to you? So what you're doing is not wrong. You're not committing a crime. You're not banging on somebody's door. You're not trying to sell a coupon book to your next door Betty. You are not doing anything wrong. So the strategy to overcome, and I actually was doing a little bit of research on this, so I want to share with you what I found. So when you fear that someone is judging you, what you're really doing is judging yourself and the other person. You assume that you've done something that is going to cause a negative judgment, okay? Like send them a message. You think that they're going to feel weird about it. This is a reflection of your own fears. So you assume the other person feels that same way about that action and will also judge you. I'm going to reiterate that. You assume. What's your mama taught you about assuming? You assume that the other person feels the same way. So who do you allow in your corner? All right. So this is where we're going to write down our judgy Judy list. I want you to think of a Post-it note. Most likely the people that are allowed to be judgy Judys in your life are going to be able to fit on a Post-it note. So this is maybe your mom, your sister, your coach Stephanie, your business bestie, or your best friend from whoever it is. You probably have 2 to 3 to 4 names that are going to fit on that Post-it. If the people that you're worried about having a negative opinion about you do not fit, on that Post-it note. They do not belong as an opinion in your business. And so if you are not trying to please your mama, and you're not trying to please your sister, and you're not trying to please your bestie, then who gives a crap what someone else that's not on that Judgy Judy list thinks? Are you going to let that stand in the way of this legacy that you could build for your family? Like, y'all, you're sitting on the most incredible opportunity for you to change your family's finances. Who gives a crap what people think if you can change your family's finances? I know that I'm not going to look at my kid and say, I'm sorry, Aiden, I'm not going to go and fight somebody today because I'm really afraid of what they're going to think. So, next week when my income dips and I haven't done my behaviors in my business, sorry, buddy, mommy was afraid of what somebody thought of me, so I didn't send an invite. Come on, guys. Like, the strategy to overcome that is to write down your Judgy Judy list and to filter that fear through that list, okay? I know I'm going kind of fast, but it's a lot of stuff. So that's number 4. Fear number 5. Oh my God, this is probably one of my favorite ones. Fear of sounding salesy. Okay, I know that every single person on this call has probably felt that way. Your underlying belief here is that what you're offering is too expensive. When you're afraid of sounding salesy, you're probably feeling like what you're offering is too expensive. And quite honestly, a lot of us, when I started my health and fitness journey, I could not afford a challenge pack. My mom paid for my challenge pack because we were literally in debt. We couldn't afford it, and she wanted to support me. So I get that fear of feeling like it's too expensive, but here's how you overcome that. You do your research. You realize the value of what you have to offer. But not just that, your role as a coach is vital. It is vital to the success of if someone goes to Planet Fitness, they have no support system. They have no one cheering them on and checking them in with them with private messages and giving them flash challenge and plugging them into a boot camp and giving them meal plans. They go alone. When they're committed to a walking plan, they're doing it most likely alone. So what you have as a coach to support them is so vital to this. That is the missing component, and that alone is worth more than you could ever imagine. So in this arena, I want to show you this. So do your research, know your value. Know that you are I'm showing you all the things I did wrong, guys. So don't take any of this as what you should do. This is all the stuff that I did wrong. Know that when you're a new coach, you do a lot wrong. Like, come on, embrace the learning process of social media. I now no longer post pictures of me with my Shakeology cup, and I don't post pictures with the container. And I certainly don't post one little caption about Aiden loves to steal sips of mommy's hashtag Shakeology. I can tell you that you will learn and grow, but you have to get over the fear of being salesy in order to understand what will and won't work for your business. So I tell my team this all the time. You can never say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. And that goes with sounding salesy in private messages. A lot of my coaches get concerned about what to say in private messages. You guys, if you're sharing from your heart and you're doing your best and you're asking your upline for help, that's key with my coaches. If they're struggling with the conversation and they're just right there on the edge and they know somebody's ready to make a change, but they don't know how to seal the deal, I tell them, send it to me. Let's talk about it. Let's navigate that together. And in time, that skill set will become something that's extremely normal to you. So I want to remind you to remember your worth as a coach. Remember how your coach has helped you to transform your life, and know that you're offering that to someone else. So that's not salesy. Okay, so there is a new MLM that has come out. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. The CBD company is a new one that's come out, and people are in my area are blasting it all over social media. I can tell you what I'm doing compared to what they're doing is not salesy. They're literally copy pasting, posting poster stock images. If you're not doing that and you're sharing your heart, you're not being salesy. That's just a confidence thing. So really tackle that through your social media or through personal development. All right, fear number 6. So our fear number 6 is rejection. I love this one because this was something that I struggled with for quite a while when I was inviting. And when you are afraid of rejection, most often it's because your value and what you believe your worth is rooted in what people think of you. That was pretty deep. When I was preparing this, I was like, man, that's getting a little bit deep for a team call. But this is true when you are viewing rejection, it's because you care too deeply about what that other person is going to think about you. So I have 2 steps to overcoming a fear of rejection. So the first one is, if you want to overcome rejection and that fear of rejection, you have to get clear on what you want in your business. Why are you here? Why are you on this team call? Why did you become a coach? Ask you questions like, what do I want out of coaching? Why do I want this? Why is it important to me? How will it benefit me or my family? What will I miss out on if I don't act right now and overcome this fear? That is so hits home with inviting, because if you will miss out on potential customers. 99% of the people that join my team, I invited. No, hardly, it is a rare unicorn that comes to me and is like, I'm going to build a big business. I'm going to come to you. We're going to be like Star Diamond besties. And it doesn't work like that. And that's a good thing, because you want to know why? My natural interaction with people and people that I'm hoping to connect with as challengers or coaches, I am inevitably teaching them the activities they need to do as a coach. So if you simmer in this fear of rejection and what other people think of you, then you're inevitably teaching them that they don't have to reach out to people. And we all know that in order to build a big business, that's part of what you have to do. So number 2, so you've identified why, okay? So that's part 1. Step 2 is you're going to identify the actual fear that you're facing. Ask questions like this. What type of rejection am I facing? Whose rejection do I fear? And why do I care about their opinion? I've been known with my coaches, and you should be glad that I'm not your upline. I've been known with my coaches to, if they tell me they have nobody to invite and that they have nobody to invite, I'm like, okay, let's get on a call, and I'm going to share screen, and I now have control of your Facebook page. And I'm going to go down your friends list, and you're going to tell me why you haven't invited XYZ. And it directly ties to this. So whose rejection are they fearing, and why do you care about their opinion? And when you identify that and you're looking at an invite, I mean, shoot, I would much rather invite people that I don't know than somebody I could actually run into down the street. And so when you identify that rejection and what that fear is, you're able to understand why you care about their opinion. How do I behave? Excuse me, back up. How do I behave when I fear rejection? How is this helpful or hurtful to me? And how could I approach this situation differently? How could I view this in a different light and not through the lens of the opinions of others, okay? So when you're inviting and you're sharing on social media and you're looking to gain that clarity and perspective of what that fear of rejection is rooted in, you know, how could you view that in a different light and say, hey, my friend Sally from down the street, she's told me so many times that she wants to get healthy and she's so depressed. And I just want to help her. But you're afraid of rejection because you're going to see her probably tomorrow at the bus stop. View it differently. Put it through a different lens. You have the opportunity to change her life, and you could be the greatest source of accountability that she's ever had because you see her all the time. Don't hold that destiny trapped in your mouth. All right, so that's fear number 6. Fear number 7. Oh man. Okay. So I love this one, especially with a team as big as y'all's, because you can get caught up in the comparison game. And I'm sure that many of you have experienced that. I know I have at times. It is one of my stronger superpowers. I feel like I just put my head down and hustle and don't look at what anybody else is doing. I also don't have a big team. I'm an island on my own. I do everything by myself. I don't have an upline. I don't have anybody to help. And so I don't experience some of the things you guys do. But when you are looking at Stephanie, Ashley, whoever it may be, and you're saying, I'm not as good a coach as Ashley is, as Stephanie is, you are internalizing that underlying belief that you have is that you are less than fill in the blank. That's a real problem, guys. When you believe that you are less than someone else, you are immediately putting your two paths so close together, you've lost your sight of reality. So here is your way to overcome that. You have to create an environment of staying in your own lane. It is awesome if you are competition driven. I feel like comparison can have some healthy components. I am not 100% competition driven. I'm feel good driven. I like the feeling side of this business. And so for me, I've had to create a staying in my lane mindset. You are going to unfollow. If you can tell me what 5 other coaches on this team did today for breakfast, that's a problem. It's a problem in my organization. And it's a problem with the people who follow my Insta stories. It is so frustrating to go through my Insta stories and see 50 coaches that watch my Insta stories. That is so ridiculous. You're comparing your business to somebody else's, and all you have to do is unfollow. It doesn't mean you don't like them. Doesn't mean you don't care about them. It means that you are creating an environment to cultivate staying in your lane. And that is vital to your mental health in this business. Just because you took longer than someone else doesn't mean you failed. Let me tell you this. Stephanie and I started semi around the same time. She's farther along in the business and is making more money than I am. We are both wonderful coaches, and we have our strengths in each our own individual ways. There are a lot of people that joined after me and are 10 times farther along in the business. Who gives a crap? If it takes me longer, I'm still working towards my goals, and I'm still committed to the journey of figuring out what works for me and what works for my business. And that's really important. I want y'all to remember that every minute that you are spending, this is a Pinterest quote, sorry about it, but it's really good. Every minute that you spend wishing that you had someone else's life is a minute that you spend wasting yours. All those minutes scrolling Instagram and watching other people's stories, you spend 10 minutes. You could have sent 10 invites. You could have eaten that frog right then. Use Insta stories as a reward. Okay, I sent my 25 invites today. I can go watch Insta stories now. You have to be a business owner. This is not a when it feels good. And if you're putting yourself in a situation to compare yourself to other people, that is a huge, huge problem. So if you struggle with this area, I would recommend the personal development book, Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. It is really good for this specific arena. So if you are struggling with that, that's a really good book for you to look into. Okay, number 8. Not having enough balance in your life. Oh, I like this one too. Okay, this is the underlying belief that you fear that you are too busy to coach. So you automatically count yourself out of success because you're too busy, because there's no balance. I hate that word. There is no such thing as balance. Balance is a myth, my friends. There will never be a day in your life where you feel like in every arena you are thriving. There's always a ball up in the air, and there's always a ball in your hand, and you're gonna have seasons where they are out of whack, and that is part of the sacrifice. Am I telling you to go like never see your family? No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that when you get rid of and divorce the thought that balance has to be in your life, you know that short-term season of hustle, I hustled my face off for 3 years. I never stopped being in grind. I'm still in grind mode. Who am I kidding? I never got out of that hustle mode because I know I am setting my family up for success. And now at 4 years in, I am able to have more boundaries in check where I'm not on calls every night and I'm not working all day every weekend. But you know what? That short-term season of hustle was worth every memory that I have created with my kids because I'm able to be home. That is so worth it. So, way to overcome, realizing that balance is a myth. There's no such thing as that work-life balance. It's just all life. So, the balance comes from within you. You have to find a peace with what you're doing, whether that's, your marriage, your kids, your serving at the church, your business, your career. You have to find the peace in whatever season you are in your business. And there's going to be, you guys are in a season of hustle. Team Cup is a hustle month. And there will be a season of recharging. Maybe you take 24 hours on March 1st. No, I only said 24 hours. I did not say the whole month of March. You take 24 hours and you take a breath and you go binge watch Netflix for 24 hours on March 1st. And then you get back to it because your dreams and your vision for your life is worth the time and investment into it. I also find that people who say this are just not organized. And this was my kind of a crutch for a while because My business hours were so scattered that when I sat down, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And so if that's you, there are so many tools and resources, I'm sure, in your team page and also in the back office that can help you with that. All right, number 9, how many of you fear that you're never going to find people to do this business with you? I know that I thought that for a really long time, guys. And I actually thought that until 2019. I'd been through different seasons of builders. I'd attracted people in different seasons of my life for 3 years. And until it was 3 years of consistency and dedication when there wasn't nearly as much payoff as there is now. And then finally, in 2019, I had this huge shift in my business because of all of the seeds that I had planted for 3 years prior. But I had to have patience in never finding my tribe. That's a mindset. And for me, I realized that I was holding myself back because I believed, and maybe you guys can relate to this, that I was not a good enough leader. So I didn't really do things that stretched me outside my comfort zone because I already had this belief that I wasn't going to be good at it. So why should I try? So the strategy here is I want you to act like a leader because that's what's going to attract leaders. In 2019, I was done not acting like the leader that I was called to be. And that wasn't something that happened overnight. It was a constant evolving in 2019, but I'd started doing some intentional personal development in this area. I was really showing up in all of the business activities, not just when it felt good. And I began to attract those people. And now we have a team that is chasing big goals with me. Our community is incredible. It's because I put myself as a leader before people knew that I was actually a leader. So a lot of you are probably new coaches. You're like, I'm an Emerald coach. I'm nothing. I have nothing to offer. That's not true. Joe Schmo down the street does not know what an Emerald coach means. You can pretend like it's the top 5% in the company and they'd have no idea. It's about an attitude and a mindset, and the amount of energy and time that you spend sharing the coaching opportunity will be a direct reflection of the numbers of leaders that you're going to have on your team. So the more that you're proactive about sharing about it and inviting those people behind the scenes to the coaching opportunity, the more leaders will follow you into your business. So last fear, and then we'll wrap it up, is fear of failure. And I think this one is huge because every person that I bring into my business says this to me in our coach sneak peek. And they're like, Rachel, I don't want to start because I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And here's why we believe that. We are hardwired to believe that mistakes and failure are bad. Well, you know what's really incredible? Mistakes and failure are part of the path to huge life-changing success. There will never be a leader that you look up to in this network that had the easy ride, that just had straight up the totem pole all the way up to the top, and it was easy peasy. I was listening to a training by Ali Upham, who's probably multiple 15-star diamond coach, crazy successful, and she was doing some kind of video on YouTube, and she said, you will never know the pain of going from 15-star qualification one week and the next Thursday being a 2-star. 15 to 2-star in 1 week. That means 13 of her diamonds dropped rank. So you think that mistakes and failures are not a part of your business, then you are really going to struggle, because when you embrace that part, everything else becomes so much easier. So we are hard. This is a quote I found. So we're hardwired to believe that mistakes and failures are bad. If I make a mistake or fail, I'll be rejected. And what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me. And that goes back to people pleasing. That goes back to what we believe our worth is rooted in. So are you basing your self-worth on what other people think of you? Be willing to take big risks in coaching. The bigger the mistake, the greater the victory. Y'all saw all my Shakeology pictures and my containers and all of the horrible things that I have done in the past 4 years. And that's like a tiny percentage of all of the free groups that have flopped, and the challenge groups where nobody checked in, and the coaches that left my business because they were mad. You didn't see the path it took to get there. You view mistakes and failures as bad. But when you take that big risk in coaching, there's going to be a huge victory. It's not if you make mistakes, it's when. So embrace that arena and don't let your self-worth be defined by what people think of you, and that's going to help you overcome the fear of failing. So big risk equals big rewards. All right, so I've got one last thing that I want to share with you. So this is a 2-minute, if it plays correctly, a 2-minute video, and I don't know how to turn off the ad, but
PVP, polyethylene glycol, hooves, animal skin, sheep's wool, parabens, artificial colorants, talc.
It's a new year.
Okay, so this is a video. I want you guys to really listen to what Trent has to say, because 2020 could be your 2019, like it was for me. You are at the beginning of this horizon of possibilities, and what you believe about what you're capable of is going to either help you thrive and crush it, or it's going to be your hurdle that you're going to face in and out. So listen to this.
But is it really gonna be?
Can y'all give me some thumbs up if you can hear me or hear the video?
You, a better you. I mean, what's gonna make this year any different? What's gonna keep you committed? Everybody makes a decision, but what's hard is staying loyal to your vision. What's hard is waking up every single day to go get it. You gotta understand, ain't nothing in this world given. So if you wanna make a change, you gotta get outside your comfort zone and stop living inside your limits. You gotta get up and go fight for your dreams. Yeah, anything is possible. To the heart that believes. Do you hear me? To the heart that believes. You gotta feel that purpose in your soul. Because way too many people set goals, but they never put in the work to see their dreams unfold. That can't be you. It's time to break through. It's time for you to stay loyal to what you said you were gonna do. Even when that mood is left you, even when that struggle gets the best of you, it's not there to break you. It's just there to test you. It is just there to show you how bad you really want it. Because when you're for real about change, you don't need no new year. All you need is this moment. So own it. You gotta break those old ways. Because when you're committed to your purpose and you're focused on your vision, you don't have to chase nothing. Money, people, you don't have to chase nothing. Because dedication pays, commitment pays, consistency pays, hard work pays. But I'll tell you right now, those weak habits, they gotta break. Your mindset has to be reshaped. You have to believe the odds are beatable, even when people say it's impossible. That's what I call faith. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's what it's gonna take. 24/7, 365, you gotta live it, breathe it, be it every single day. You got that concrete challenge that gets in the way, and remember, it's more about what you do and less about what you say. So if your life didn't say one word, what would your life speak? Would it still say you about that life? Would it still say you about conquering your struggle, creating new peace? Would it still say you about getting the most out of your life? Every moment matters, especially when you realize over 150,000 people die every night. That's 55 million people a year. Ain't none of this promised. Ain't none of this guaranteed. So the question I'll leave you with is this. When you fight your last fight, when you breathe your last breath, if this was your last year, what's the legacy that you're gonna leave? Get up and go live your dreams. Make the world respect your greatness. Make this year your year. Like I tell you in every single video, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it.
Okay, so the last thing I want to ask you guys is, are you willing to stay loyal to your vision when things get tough? Are you willing to stay loyal to what you said you were going to do long before that feeling of motivation in your business ends? So I hope that those 10 fears were helpful. Hope that there's some stuff in the chat. Does anybody have any questions that I could cover? I'm sweating.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Seriously, we had coaches texting us being like, oh my God, she's speaking directly to me. We have people being like, oh my gosh, I have chills. That was amazing. Seriously. So thank you so much for that. Would love to get some questions, guys. We've got a few minutes left before we let Rachel go snuggle her babies. Does anyone have any questions they have, or any fears that we haven't addressed? Maybe? Or share, yeah.
Something you learned.
Who had something that hit their heart?
Bianca's raised her hand.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd call me. I've just been struggling. I've been a coach. I say coach because I wasn't taking it seriously since like end of July, since Morning Meltdown came out. And I've just been struggling with a lot of the fears we touched on. So it's good to like, and I actually do follow Trent Shelton. And so like, I got excited when I heard you speak about him, and I just like am like, I got a lot of information to try to use as soon as I possibly can, like when I get off the call, you know. And then I'm just like gonna go forward.
Love it.
Girl, love it.
I hope.
I got to see Rachel Hollis at the Rise Up conference, and he is so awesome. So if you guys don't follow him, go run and follow him. He is super, super motivating, especially when it comes to like relationships and stuff, and giving you what you need to. He gives you what you need to hear to know that you are worth it. You are worth every piece of this world. So I thought that was amazing. I loved that little exercise you did with the 4 squares. So I hope you all do this after the call tonight. If you guys need to rehear these questions again, I recorded this call, but I also wrote them all down myself. So if you guys need to hear those again, that was amazing. And I also loved the fear of not having enough time. That one like hit me in the heart, because I feel like that's what we hear the most. We hear so often that I don't have the time. You aren't making the time. Yeah. You have the time. You're using the time for other things. So that was my favorite one.
Yeah, and I see that a lot with my coaches. You know, they tell me that they don't have time, but yet they're one of the first 50 people to watch my Insta stories. Like, you know, guys, we have to treat our business like it matters to it. I mean, you hear treat your business like a business, but treat it like it matters to you. Treat it like you have things that you want to accomplish. And the stuff that we're doing isn't hard. It's just a matter of getting out of your own way and creating an environment of healthy action in your life.
I think it was Rachel Hollis that said, if you don't have the time, it's not that important to you.
Yeah.
If you don't have the time, it's a matter of, it's not that important to you. And if it's not that important to you, that's fine. But be honest with yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
Yourself, if you don't have time to do your workouts, it's not that important to you. Getting those results is not that important to you. And that's something you can use with your challengers. It's something you can use with your own coaches. It's something that like, it's just not that important to you. And if you hear that, sometimes that's all you need to hear, is to be like, but it is. So maybe it is worth my time and I need to find that time, or maybe it's not and I need to find a better use of my time. So just something you need to hear. But anybody have anything they want to jump in with? No? Okay, well, I really, really, really appreciate you, Rachel. You are always amazing. Until next time, thank you so much, and can't wait to chat with you soon.
Bye, guys. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Next week, we're actually going to be hearing from Rachel's coach, one of her coaches. She's going to be joining us next week to talk about her results in the 10 rounds test group. She has crushed it. She is a new coach. She is almost a diamond, or she is diamond and almost a 1-star.
Yeah.
She's already a diamond coach, almost a 1-star, crushed the test group, and she's going to come and talk to us about 10 rounds, and she's going to give us some insight on how we can market it for ourselves.
Yeah, and you want to talk about coaching during a hard season. I think a lot of people relate to that message. It's like, I don't know how to coach, and life is really hard. Like, I don't know if I'm in a really hard season in my life right now, and it can feel like, oh, coaching is just another thing. Lindsay, that you'll hear from, is someone who leaned into the community when everyone else would have leaned out. Her husband's battling cancer. She works full time. She's got multiple kids. She went diamond in less than 90 days, and she's almost star diamond. Like, I'm hell-bent that she's going to walk that stage at Summit. Like, she is the epitome of no time, can't do this, and she leaned in instead of lean out. So be on that call. She's amazing. You're going to love her.
She worked her business by her husband's hospital bed.
She did.
Charlie Parker right now is joining us in the hospital with her daughter.
Amazing.
Like, you guys, I'm so proud of you for showing up tonight. This shows a lot about who you are and what you want for this business and your support to this team. So I love you all, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.